Hey, what's going on, you guys? Nicolas here, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about remote work. So this video was inspired by a viewer whose name is, I'm pulling it up here, Falcrade DZ. Sorry if I butchered that, but you got a funny username. He says here in the comment, "Hey Nicholas, what is your opinion on remote work? Do you have a video on it? I've been applying to several remote positions, but no callback. Also, do you have videos on giving resume tips? Thank you, sir." Okay, hey man, so I'm gonna go ahead and answer the question on remote work. So remote work is a benefit that many cybersecurity professionals get to have, along with all technical professionals. I think many tech positions in general offer that benefit of remote work, okay? Now you gotta think about why you get to work remote, okay? It's not because they like you. It's not because the company favors you over somebody else. Not necessarily. I mean, it can happen. But many times the reason why we get to work remote is because it's cheaper for the business to have us at home versus having us in the office. This could be because maybe they don't have enough capacity in the office, they don't have enough space, maybe they don't have a physical office that we can actually go to, and so it's just better for us to be home. Maybe they need talent that isn't necessarily in their location where the headquarters is located. Could be out in some rural area like the country or something like that, and they just don't have the technology or the tech professionals or whatever in that area, so they're going to go and hire outside, and instead of paying relocation fees to have you come to where they're located, they'll just keep you there and you get to work from home. All different reasons why you could possibly get the chance to work from home, right? Now, we have to think about this for a minute. In order for a company who is paying you a lot of money, cybersecurity professionals aren't cheap, right? In order for a company to pay you lots of money, they need to be able to trust you to do the work from home. They need to be able to trust that you're not over there playing World of Warcraft on company time when you should be working, and that you're truly doing the work that you say you're doing, right? That you're actually taking care of the help desk tickets, or you're taking care of the different threats and vulnerabilities that need to be fixed, or the systems need to be patched, and you're doing it. Like whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing, you're doing it, and they can trust you to do it, right? So you have to be trustworthy in order for you to have the ability to work from home. Now, let's just go ahead and say that most people are pretty trustworthy, right? I like to think, positively, and I think that most people are. But the second thing we got to consider is that you as a professional are actually capable of doing the job that the company is hiring you to do, right? That you don't need to tap on somebody's shoulder every chance you get when you need some help, that you can actually go and kind of figure it out on your own, right? You can do Google searches, or you can watch a couple YouTube videos like what you're doing right now, or you can go read technical documentation and try to figure out the answers to your questions as you're learning this and as you're kind of going and growing inside of your career. So that being said, in order for all of these things to, kind of align so that you can get a remote job, you need to be very thoughtful and intentional about what you're applying to, making sure that you are actually skilled enough, that you are the adequate resource, the adequate professional, the right candidate for that kind of job, that you're trustworthy, that you can solve the problems, you can do the job, that you can speak to those things. Now, if all of those things check out, if you are trustworthy, if you are the right candidate for the job that you're applying to, and you're still not able to land a job that's remote, then there's some other elements that we have to look at, which could probably be your resume. It could probably be that you think you're able to solve these things, but truthfully you're not. And that's kind of a hard truth to take on sometimes. Some people don't actually do that inner reflection and pay attention. Hey, am I actually qualified for this position? Or do I just think I am, right? So there's all different complexities when we talk about, getting a remote job, and are you capable of doing the remote work and all that fun stuff. So that's going to be my answer to you. What's my opinion on remote work? I think remote work is excellent. I've got a family. I like the ability to be flexible and, go downstairs and have some breakfast with the family in between meetings and in between my work projects. I like that, right? I also like the ability to go and travel. If I want to go and clock in from South Carolina, which this happened a couple of years ago, we we were just left and we're like, hey, let's just go on a little vacation. And I'm doing my work tasks, but I'm doing it in another state. And when I'm not working, when I have free time on the calendar, I clock off and we're going to go and explore the town or whatever. So I can go and do that as a remote employee, and that's totally fine. You always have to make sure you're available in case people need you and that kind of thing. But remote work does give you that ability to kind of go and travel and go see things and just be flexible with how you're working, not necessarily being stuck to an office or a cubicle and having to work from there. So that's a really nice thing. Now, a couple of negatives with remote work is you kind of eventually miss that networking opportunity. When I was working in the office back in, well, this happened in 2019, before the pandemic, I really thrived in that environment. I was really connecting with all my peers. I was building relationships with people in other offices because I worked at a big global firm, and I was traveling between different locations, different offices, and getting to broaden my horizon. And because I was able to network so well, I was able to grow in that role very quickly and even got a promotion while I was there. And when the whole world kind of turned upside down during the pandemic, I found it harder for me to continue that networking because everyone was, home, and you couldn't go to, office lunch parties, or talk to people after hours, or go out for a cup of coffee and go talk to this other person that has these skill sets that you really want to learn and you're not really too familiar. So you want to pick their brain. Like all those different things that we used to be able to do in an office became a lot harder to do working from home. It's not like, hey, can we get on a Zoom call? Because I want to ask you these questions, right? Before, there was an incentive for that person because I could go buy them a cup of coffee and they didn't have to pay for it. And that was nice. Now it's like, can I send you a DoorDash gift card or an Uber Eats gift card? Like, it's just weird. It's just not, I didn't like it. And so when I was working in an office, I really appreciated that aspect because you can't really beat that one-to-one personal relationship that you have in an office setting. Now, that being said, the flip side to that is, one of the cons to going into the office is you have a commute. When I worked in the office, I had a 30-minute commute. And what I used to do is I used to leave extra early so I could beat the traffic rush to the office. And so I'd get there in like 15 to 20 minutes. But then on the way back, it would be like a 30 or 40-minute drive because of traffic. And so that was like, I'm losing an hour and a half of my day right there, which when I worked remote, I didn't have that problem. It's just, I got to go to work. Okay, we're walking upstairs and I sit down at my desk and I log in. And it's really that simple. So there's so many trade-offs when we talk about remote work. I don't know that there's necessarily a right way to go about it. I will say that if you're starting out in your career in cybersecurity or in technology, I would kind of push you in the direction of working in the office, at least for the first year. That way, you get to learn the work alongside people who are doing it very well. So if you're in a new position and you're really not sure, how to set up a firewall because you've never really done it before, or maybe you've done it in a simulated environment, but you never worked with the technology this company uses, right? You want to be shadowing the people who have been doing it for a couple of years. And so being in an office setting really gets you that opportunity to really just learn on the job. It's so much easier to learn on the job when you're on the job, when you're not at home. You can ask questions, you're not being distracted. You get that one-on-one attention with the person who's working with you. It's just so much better to have that type of opportunity. And once you've pretty much figured everything out and you've kind of gotten the lay of the land and you're pretty comfortable with the technology and the job, then maybe consider asking if you can work remote. If you feel like you don't need to learn anymore and you're just kind of coasting, you're just kind of in maintenance mode and you're just doing what you got to do and taking care of your tasks, and you're not really having to learn a whole lot of new stuff to continue in that same role. So that's my 2 cents on remote work and how we go about that. Now, I do want to address your comment at the very bottom, which says also, do you offer any videos giving resume tips? I do. I do offer videos giving resume tips. I actually have them included in my Cyber Pro Accelerator program. So I'm going to do a shameless plug here. If you guys are looking to jump into cybersecurity, maybe you're studying for certifications, you're not really getting what you are looking for in the certifications. Like maybe you're not you're passing the test, but you're not getting noticed. You're not getting the opportunity to go and interview, or you are interviewing and no one's hiring you, and you're trying to figure out why. I can guarantee you it's not another certification you need. So, if you are in that situation where you're just like, I don't know what's going on, I really need some help, I want you to click the link down below because I have a free webinar where I explain my program. It's through a program called CyberPro University. The actual program that I'm talking about here is something called the CyberPro Accelerator. The CyberPro Accelerator is designed to accelerate your growth and how fast you can get into that position in cybersecurity. And I actually built this myself by teaching you the same thing that I learned going into my career as a security engineer, focusing on DevSecOps and cloud security architecture and governance, risk, and compliance and all that good stuff. But more than just the technical stuff, I actually teach you how to write your resume. I work with you on your resume. I teach you how to interview. I work with you on interview preparation. I teach you how to brand yourself as a cybersecurity professional so that you can get lots of job opportunities. So if that's you, if you're looking for that kind of help, then I want you to click the link down below, check out that free webinar, and if you feel like this is the right thing for you, maybe book a call and talk to an enrollment advisor. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and close this out. If you guys have any questions, I'm looking through my comments for questions and I'm making videos about it. So if you've got a question and you want the opportunity to have that question answered by me, somebody that's been doing this for a long time, and I've been, building security teams for big companies, go ahead and drop it down below in the comment section. I will look for it and I might make a video on it. All right.